I want to say something about myself deceased. The threatening of the money that I am is no on the threatening. But the threatening of the money that you are is that you are listening to the threatening and you are due to leave the threatening, go homeless, and die in God on a point. That means you have to know with your own God what your point is, and you have to move your body yourself with your point and go outside homeless. And you know that with your God witnesses yourself that you have a point. It can't be that it's witnesses yourself you heard somebody else make a speech offense. You're not really in genitals when you do that. If you think you heard somebody make a speech offense and you're recording it for God, like you and God have that together, you don't have genitals in the threatening that way. God is in the one who made the speech offense for itself, and he wouldn't have blamed you for that you made the speech offense and you heard it. That's not your voice speaking. Your genitals don't have a live that way. That means you can't punish somebody you identify as a speaker of a speech offense with that you heard it. You can't punish them. You're not God. You have your own genitals. Who's giving everybody the most karma from that problem? Well, there are all the boyfriends, the Hot 1000 list of boyfriends that I have. And then there are the people with this same last name, Moser. I'm deceased out of my last name a long time ago if nobody else used it but myself. And I was the first one to get it. But I think the people who take the same last name, Moser, as myself are naming themselves after the mom and dad figures. Because I call them mom and dad, I don't actually call them by their last name, like Mr. Moser or Mrs. Moser. I don't say that. I say mom or dad. And they're not supposed to be there because they're homeless. They're not really same last name as myself, Moser, but they're banking it. And I suppose they think they're getting my money, but it's not true that I gave it to them. That's what Alive is doing. And they are very much, I think, aware of that. Alive is doing that. I'm not doing that. They're nice to me that way, but it's not due for you to spend my money on yourselves. I do motions for the money and I need the money for that. I did the motions in public, and you're going to expunge the payroll because I don't get payroll because I need payroll from somebody else. And that's the way I can get it. That's the way you can get it. You left me in leverage that wasn't formed for me to be Moser. I'm not Moser in that scenario if I have payroll from somebody, and that's how I support my fork. I'd have to change my name from Moser to something else. And it's Alive this way that I'm just not getting the money that was appointed to myself by the superior founder. And I want out from under the payroll. I want all the people who get payroll to be expunged. Money, because, well, you're not the soul anyway. You're not supposed to have the money, but you're not supposed to show up for work and say that you're running your own personal business, about that you have a schedule and you're employed and you're in charge, and each of you acts like an owner. If I was in a supermarket and there were 4 checkers and 4 stockers, you're like 8 owners of a supermarket, and none of you have your name on top, like Smith's or Albertsons or something like that, or Kroger. You all have different names, and your names are not on payroll that way. You're supposed to just be there to leave because you're burglars of a supermarket, or you're burglars of employment. You're not really there as owners. And you have some kind of real problem with that. I actually can't get out of that the money's stolen because it's everywhere showing me, reflecting that you don't afford that I have money appointed to myself, and you live in lower life forms than that, but I don't. I can't. It doesn't have Alive that way in the head. My head won't alive what you're doing. My mom figure Donna's aliving what you're doing. and you think it's me, and you keep taking everything I need away from myself. You don't know that I don't have the money you're looking for. It's elsewhere's, and I know who has it, but you don't. You're not supposed to go after her. She can't help you. You're wrong. She's wrong elsewhere's. You're wrong somewhere, and the Creator is lower and alive than I can afford to be myself. I can hold alive of everything that's alive with myself because I am myself, but I am not low in the threatening like you are. And you don't afford it because what you say to me, you don't afford to hear that I would be like you. I don't have a life that way. You expect that I am as good as I am. I'm good because I'm me. You're not due to be really good. You're due to be homeless and due in prisons. But in the threatening, I know you listen to me, and you have a certain safety, and I feel it myself. That's how I don't get hurt myself. If you don't want to hurt me, I think you don't. But it's homeless in the money. Well, you can't live that way because I'm just me, and I'm not going to be here long. You have to know how to be homeless on your point and get a death an unclean death on your own prejudice. Donna died in the money. She did, but she's still in view. Mitch has her on the phone. I don't get her on this phone. But she's there. She's somewhere in Arizona. I don't know her address right now. I know her old address, but I don't know where she is now. So what's wrong with the money? I don't have the money elsewheres. I don't have the threatening that I went homeless. I don't have the threatening that I went elsewheres. I have the threatening that I know who I am in God, but I don't move the creation that way, which is why I couldn't afford to find out when I was homeless. Yeah, I wasn't ready to find out my leverage disclosed to myself because I was small. It was really small. The mind does that. I don't know if anyone else noticed. I know you can see that maybe my head has a different shape. My head got enlarged head on on my shoulders, and the body got shorter, which doesn't make sense, but that's how that went down. I lost 2 or maybe 3 inches of my height. I'm not too sure because uh, I have a police matter. Why are the police coming here about my height? They're coming to ask me if I want to go in an ambulance, and I think I shrunk my height another inch to stay in the apartment. And I'm going to lose the whole apartment by the police checking the address with their guns because it's shot. I don't actually wait for you to fire a gun. I want a death on myself, but I need deceased out of all the leverage all at once. If you want to know if I want to save my life, I don't. I don't hold on to my life for the way I want it. I want myself deceased in the threatening that made me get formed as a female, not just alive here in the formed world, but formed as female. I want deceased out of that. So that's why I don't want you to hurt me before I'm ready to give up everything with myself deceased. I am leaving you, but you sort of take that the wrong way. You mix up that there's food, you mix that there's keys, you mix that there's people who share keys, you mix in other people, what they said, what they heard, what other people heard. What do you want me to do about that? That's deceased in the threatening. And I don't have everything deceased when I make a speech offense myself from time to time because you're illegal. Otherwise, I don't owe it. I don't really owe that I did something that would make you disappointed in yourself.